So there wasn't a whole lot of Super Bowl commercials that blew me away this year, and it seems like the narrative behind everybody watches the Super Bowl for the commercials, it kind of seems like they're trying to get away from that a little bit, because with each year, like, there's nothing insane about the commercials that you need to see, really. At least I don't think so. But one thing that did catch my eye that I did want to talk about was the new trailer for the new Mission Impossible movie, Dead Reckoning Part 2. Or the movie's been retitled as The Final Reckoning. Looking at the synopsis of this film, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is an upcoming American action spy film directed by Christopher McQuarrie, from a screenplay quote with Eric Jenderson. The direct sequel to Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. It is the 8th installment to the Mission Impossible film series, and this movie is coming out in May. I believe a trailer for this movie has already come out before the Super Bowl. At least I think, I'm like 95% sure I've seen a trailer before the Super Bowl trailer came out, but more people are talking about it this time around, so I kind of wanted to talk about it as well. One of the very first, reviews that we've ever done on the channel was my review of the Mission Impossible movie, the Dead Reckoning Part 1 movie that came out. Because I watched it and I was like, I had fucking no clue that this movie was going to be as good as it was, because goddamn, the movie is so good. I'm also reading right here that The Final Reckoning has a budget of $400 million. That has to be split across the two movies, right? There's no way that this has a budget of $400 fucking million. But when I did my original review of the Dead Reckoning Part 1 movie, I talked about how, Tom Cruise has been on an absolute tear for whatever reason. I mean, Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible 6 was a banger. Mission Impossible 7's a banger. Like I just said, Top Gun Maverick is an absolute banger. The last 3 installments that this guy has put out have been absolute slapper films, like incredible movies. And Mission Impossible 8 being filmed back-to-back with Dead Reckoning, I believe it was filmed back-to-back. Mission Impossible 8 is going to be insane. And they're painting Mission Impossible 8 as the final one, which does not surprise me. After 8 installments, you could kind of think that it might be the final one, especially in a spy kind of franchise where things might be a little repetitive and, we might run out of ideas at some point. On top of that, Tom Cruise is 62 years of age, and there are slight signs of him slowing down. I won't ever say that, but I've seen some complaints online that his sprinting isn't as lucid or as loose as it once was. And it feels like with every new Mission Impossible or Top Gun movie, he's trying to push the limits of what he is capable of doing. He's hung on planes. He's hanging on a plane in this one. He fucking base jumped off a bike in the last one. These Mission Impossible movies really are the better version of the Uncharted movie. Now that I'm thinking of it, the Uncharted movie that came out with Tom Holland, they literally just tried to make the Mission Impossible movie. And oh, Jesus. I'm not going to talk about that. Mission Impossible 7, absolute slapper. I thought the threat of the anomaly, sure, AI being the villain is not something new, but I thought that they did it in an interesting way that they can, predict everything he's going to do. How do you beat that? I have no idea. AI that's sentient, if that's the right word, is insane. And I felt like that it's not necessarily a new idea, but the way that they did it in the Mission Impossible movie is truly terrifying. And I thought that it worked a lot. What I was highly impressed with in Mission Impossible 7 were the action scenes and the set pieces. Thought were great. Of course, that's with every Mission Impossible movie. Now I'm thinking about it, every Mission Impossible movie has pretty much been a banger. This guy's insane. I mean, he can't miss. Literally, he cannot miss with these Mission Impossible movies. So my fucking camera died. That's awesome. Now I'm finishing the Mission Impossible video, but I don't really know what else to say. I mean, every Mission Impossible movie has been an absolute banger. Tom Cruise can't seem to miss as of late, especially when it comes to Mission Impossible. But even in the last couple years, like I've already said, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, the last Mission Impossible movie, Top Gun Maverick, it's not going to be Top Gun Maverick, it'll probably be Top Gun Rooster. Top Gun 3's coming out. And then Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which was formerly known as Dead Reckoning Part 2. Yeah, from everything that I've seen about this movie, it looks great, and I can't imagine that it's going to fail. I think it's going to be a massive success at the box office. I think it's going to make a lot of money. I know sure as shit that I'll be there. And do I think it's going to be the last Mission Impossible movie? I do. I do, actually. It would not surprise me if he wraps up Mission Impossible, at least for the Ethan Hunt character here. This will be 8 movies that he has done, and it seems like he is very passionate and loves the Mission Impossible franchise, but I also feel like he is kind of gearing up to let it go. I don't know if, like, everything that they've said in the trailers about I need you one last time, if that's just the basic Hollywood, you know, tension-building thing, or if he's actually ready to wrap it up. Tom Cruise is 63 years old, and do I think that he's going to be done doing action movies anytime soon? No, but do I think that he might be wanting to pass the torch along for the Mission Impossible movie? Yeah, I don't think that would surprise me. But also, part of me wants to say this. If you're already going to do Mission Impossible 8, why not just get to 10? You know, you're already there. It's not like the Fast and Furious movies where they've been ass. You know, like Fast 9 was the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen, and Fast X was the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. Now, I will say, when it comes to the Fast and Furious franchise, the 8th one, at least to my knowledge, I haven't seen it since I was a junior in high school, wasn't that bad. And Furious 7 was actually my favorite Fast movie. So it was going well, and then it just fucking crashed down, which I guess could happen. But Tom Cruise seems like much more of a competent filmmaker than whoever the fuck is working on the Fast franchise. And I can't imagine that he would blow it the same way. These movies are handled with a whole lot of care. What I'm saying is Tom Cruise, maybe at the ripe age of 63 or 64, says to himself, you know, maybe I don't want to hang out of an airplane anymore or do these insane fucking stunts that is now expected of me, like I'm Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. And he is okay with passing that task on to somebody else. Now, I can't, you know, ask anybody to hang themselves off a fucking plane or glide onto a train or backflip off Mount Everest, but you know what I'm saying? He could find the next actor that he wants to carry on the Mission Impossible franchise, and I would like to see them go that route. You know, I don't know if it seems like they're gearing up for Mission Impossible 8 to be the last one. And if it is the last one, if it feels natural to be the last one, let it be the last one. My only upset and sadness about this is that with Mission Impossible 8 coming out and with it being geared up to be the last one, there's nobody really out there that I'm cool with, you know, looking at and being like, I feel like they could take the franchise over. Now, Haley Atwell's character is in this, and she's a relatively new character who's kind of got spy shit going on. Maybe she carries it on to the future, but she feels more like a supporting side character, at least in Mission Impossible 7. Maybe that could change in Mission Impossible 8, and probably maybe it could develop into that. I don't know. But as far as, you know, other people, I don't really see it. I don't know who you go find to do that. But if you do Mission Impossible 8 and you're like, hey, you know what, we want to do more, and you do Mission Impossible 9, you decide that one's the ender, don't do that. Just go to 10. But if this feels like a natural ending for you, Tom, wrap it up there. Boom. Done. But yeah, Mission Impossible 8, are you excited for it? What do you think of it? I'm hyped for it. I think there's a lot of interest here, at least from my side. Yeah. Let me know what you think about it. If you think that this movie's going to be good, ass, trash, garbage, trash or pass it. But I'll be watching for sure. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, adios, and goodbye.